Hi, welcome. I don't mind saying that this reading has turned my brain into a pretzel, I swear. It's upside down world here today. We're taking a look at the shadow self, and I'm using the archetype cards as well as the tarot. We got the vampire and the king, and the sun and 9 of cups. The sun is a major arcana card, so that trumps the 9 of cups. And the sun shines brightness onto the world. So the vampire will have the light attributes in this reading, and the king will be suffering from those shadow qualities. The sort of life situation that comes to mind is a boss-assistant dynamic, or really any relationship where there's a power imbalance and the person who has the power is abusing it. The light attribute for the vampire makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force, and the shadow attribute for the king, excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. We'll start off with the king, and entitlement is a recurring theme here. He feels he's owed it, he deserves it, and that's simply the way it is. And by it, I mean anything he wants. Traditionally, the 9 of cups represents emotional satisfaction and contentment, also abundance, pleasure. It can also represent a sort of hedonistic, indulgent lifestyle. It's only one step away from the final card in the suit of cups, the 10, which is the complete harmony and wellness card. Can you spot the difference here? Outside of the body language. Yeah, it is the element of shared fulfillment, and that is what is lacking and why the number 9 isn't completion. It is similar to the 9 and 10 of the Pentacles, the suit of Pentacles, which also sort of represents that the necessity of sharing that wealth to achieve complete fulfillment. In this case, the king is greedy, opulent, oppressive. He has become a tyrant. There are 2 directions a king archetype can slip into, a sort of darker personality, one, the tyrant, and the other, the weakling. Let's take a look at this article. Unlike the king archetype, which creates and blesses others, the tyrant seeks to destroy and tear down. Plagued by narcissism, he really does think he sits at the centre of the universe. Now that is really interesting because Andromeda, which as you can see the Celestial Tarot lists as the representative of the 9 of Cups, is the closest galaxy to our Milky Way. So it is its own universe, and it's a spiral galaxy. So to me that made me think about that sort of downward spiral of the corruption of power. The site goes on. He doesn't understand that power and influence actually increase the more you share it with others. Bingo! Like that 10 of Cups. The burden of maintaining his fragile illusion of absolute power makes him very insecure. Any threat to his authority and supremacy enrages him and causes him to lash out with abuse. This illustration of the Nine of Cups is perfect for the king archetype we're dealing with today, ready to flaunt his wealth and power. Just quickly, and perhaps a little off the subject, I'm a teacher, and this whole reading made me think about when my students play a game that used to be called Shoot the Sheriff until the school felt that was a little bit inappropriate. Now it's called something like Maths Champ. Anyhow, the sort of game where two students compete with multiplication and whoever wins goes up the ladder. This whole thing made me think about when a student gets to the top of the ladder, they feel that initial pride and thrill to have won, but almost instantly it dawns on them that they can lose that top spot. It's quite entertaining actually, because as soon as I say, all right, now choose someone to compete with, some of them pause and go, wait, what? There's that brief panic and apprehension because they want to stay there. They want to keep that power and top spot. I'll quickly talk a little bit about power because it really is at play here. It can make or break people. I adore quotes because, well, they explain what I'm thinking much more articulately. So this one is from Abraham Lincoln. Almost anyone can stand adversity, but if you want to test a person's character, give them power. Unearthed Wisdom explains how they expect others to serve them, and instead of seeing others, they seek to be seen. And importantly, underneath this rage is a sense of worthlessness and weakness. And that goes a fair way in explaining why they oppress others, so that others are the ones who feel weak instead. This one is perfect. I just wanted to throw it in there. The Nine of Cups, the greedy, self-serving, indulgent hedonist who uses others to serve them. Now, how about this poor vampire who has been treated so poorly by this tyrant? So keeping in mind the attribute here, which is someone is depleting your life force. And how fascinating is that actually, that the sun is one of our life forces and deadly to vampires. As I said, this reading is a trip. Anyway, check out these two images. There is something that is visible in both of them that is necessary for this vampire to establish if she's got any hope of stopping this depletion of her life force. Of course, its boundaries, and they're essential when you're trying to reclaim some of the control that's been taken from you. The king is taking her vitality so that he can be the one to shine. On the left-hand side, we see someone who is balanced. There is a real sense of well-being, and the angel wings that you may have detected, that really does signify that freedom as well, and the ability to rise above what was holding you back and holding you down. Her hair sort of looks like a river between two mountains as well, but I am getting carried away as I often do. I'll quickly mention on the right hand side, the horse. I read today that horses often symbolise nobility, which I didn't know yesterday, and I thought is pretty handy for the exploration that I'm doing today, so I wanted to throw that in there. But of course, horses also represent power. And here she's got the reins, also the halo effect from the sun. So she's looking very serene and damn well content with herself. And the last one here is the phoenix, another symbol of freedom and glory, but also rejuvenation, which is perfect given the vampire's light attribute. So this card signifies the recovery and recharge after the depletion of energy and her life force. I feel like my life force is a bit depleted at the moment. That was tough going. doing this recording, so I'm buggered. I appreciate your company though, and I hope that you check out my other videos. Take care of yourselves. Catch you next time. Bye.